This is a tutorial or video on how to add diverse solutions into a WordPress website and creating micro neighborhoods without the diverse solutions map plugin. So this will be a little rough, but we'll just go through it. So this is Personal SEO, teaches how to embed diverse solutions into a WordPress website and optimize the pages as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to do all of the Malibu neighborhoods. And so I've had multiple videos on this, but the same SEO standard applies. So go to the dashboard of the website. And then the next one, I did Big Rock, I think. And so I'm going to try and Carbon Beach. And this is different because usually in other solutions we could draw on a map to really solidify the area. In this solution we cannot. So when you're going through it to create all of these micro neighborhoods, and if they are not listed, then either do the best you can in finding it or skip it and move on to the next one because there's a lot of neighborhoods to create. Okay, so we're logged into the website, and then we're going to go to pages and then all pages. And in this site there is a builder, but it's not being used that much, so I'm not going to force to use the builder. Usually we have a duplicate page option if we're using a builder. Again, we're not using one, so it's actually fairly easy. So we just hit add new, and then the next thing we're going to go for is Carbon Beach. So it's just Carbon Beach homes for sale. Okay, the first thing is to make it a child of Malibu because that's where Carbon Beach is. And I tend to like to use Nextdoor to find all of the little micro neighborhoods and streets and stuff. So just follow the list here. I'll close that window because that's going to confuse everyone. All right, so we have Carbon Beach. We made it a child of Malibu homes for sale, and then we have to add the Carbon Beach information. The very next thing that I do is I do just listed, and this could be anything that you want. What I'm really trying to do is shove the key phrase in there one more time, and then I make it an H2 tag. Because that's good SEO. Later, we'll come back and add content before or after the listings, but just to get this rolling and to get all of these created first is kind of the more important thing. Okay, so the next thing you do is click on the second one, which is the two houses icon instead of the one house icon. So instead of doing a single listing, you're going to do listings in an area. Okay, and this is very, very limited. Again, we're not drawing on a map, which I would rather do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to community, and then we're just going to look for carbon, and they're in a numeric order. I don't know if you could do Alt Find and just type in carbon, which you can't because it's not actually going through the list. So yeah, so that's not going to work. So do the best that you can, and kind of scrolling down, and I'm scanning this really, really quickly. You'll get used to where things are. It's just you don't know the area number. If you knew the area number, then you could just look for the number straight away and then know that it's listed here. Same thing is that every MLS is kind of different in how they do things. So I'm just going to go through community, and again, I'm going fairly quickly. I'm scanning as fast as I can just to kind of go through it. This obviously takes the longest. What we can do at this moment, if you're the agent, you should know all of this information. If you are not an agent and you're doing the work like we're doing SEO, so we don't know this area like the back of our hand like the agent does, then what more than likely what I'll do is I'll go back to the agent with the list of areas that we need and say, okay, what's the area name? How is it listed? because they are not in alphabetical order, so it's really hard to find them. So I can you can lean back on the MLS to figure out where this information is. Okay, so again, this is a very quick look. I'm a little more diligent if I'm not doing a video, but I don't see it at all. So then what I found is tracked seems to work fairly well. And so let that list load. There we go. And these are in alphabetical order, so this makes life a little easier because you could just scroll down to see. CR Carbon Creek, and that's Carbon Beach. So I don't know if in this area, if it's actually called Carbon Creek or Carbon Beach. I'm going to go with Carbon Beach. It's not listed there. So another thing that you can do would be to Google Carbon Beach zip code. Oops, if I could type right. So the Carbon Beach zip code is 90265. Right, I just want to make sure that that's the zip code. Yeah, 90265. So, all right, so now that we know where the zip code is, and again, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this, is that if we now type in zip, of course it is 90265. Okay, that's annoying. I'd rather just type it in. 902. Six five. Okay. So worst case scenario, if you can't find anything nor draw a map, then what we'll do is we'll do it by zip code. And the reason being is because I want something on the page. And yes, it's going to have false positives because I understand that the zip code covers more than just that small little area. But in my mind, something is better than nothing. And at the same exact time, I'll go back to the real estate owner of the website, the agent, and go, hey, I need these. Are they tracks? Are they areas? What actually are they? And then we'll go from there. The other thing is that I will also encourage the agent to upgrade the account so that we can draw on a map, and then that way all of the listings would be a little more accurate. Again, it's up to them. Maybe it's a $20 extra fee a month. So we just send that off as a request. So worst case scenario, just do the zip code. Best case scenario is that it's under tracked or it's under community. It's never going to be under city because it would just be Malibu, and then you can't actually change. You can't do anything sub. So in other words, you can't have a city and then something else. So that's that. So then you could just hit insert listing, and then this is out of order. So what I'll do is I'll go into the code and then just copy and then delete, and then under the space here, I'd hit paste just so it looks like that. And you could do that in visual or code. So then you have this here. So we take the key phrase, scroll down to Yoast, plug in the key phrase here, click on edit snippet, and then plug in the key phrase in the description. Title, just delete page. So it's title, separator, site title. And then in Yoast, they don't have a site title, so I'll go in and add that, but it will automatically appear there. Okay, so since there's listings on this page, we hit never cache this page and then hit publish. If everything is done correctly, then there will be listings on this page. So wait for this to save. So then now you see it's Penzolin Luxury Homes / Malibu / Carbon Beach Homes for sale. Now we right click and go to the page, and then there are the listings on this page. So again, we did the zip code instead of drawing a map. When the real estate agent comes back and says, hey, I have the map view, then we'll draw the map around it, and that would be the same thing where you grab the pencil and then draw the map and then save the listing. So yeah, so this is the whole thing. Just go through the list. Make sure that your pages have an H2 tag that you're adding to the listing, and make sure the title, and then you will get pretty high on SEO because listings show as content. So that's great. So basically, when we come back in and add a little more content, then the it'll turn green fairly quickly. So just simple and easy. So again, title the page, create the community, click on the insert listings button, and then you're going to play with either it's a community or it's a tract. And then worst case scenario, just use the zip code. All right, thank you for watching. This is Personal SEO teaches how to embed diverse solutions into a WordPress website and optimize the page the best you can with just listings only.